Hey, folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of the Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Casting Angles with the man himself, Mac Brown. Mac, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Marvin?
Just trying to stay out of trouble. How was Marlborough last weekend?
Oh, it was great. The Patriots won. We had a little snow last night. Kind of held up the airport getting down here to Newark today, but good crowds, really good crowds up there over the weekend. And it's always fun to see people that are there wanting to grow and get a little better and look at all the new stuff there in the sport of fly fishing.
Yeah, and you're one of those guys, you don't come home. You just kind of stay on one coast and kind of work all the classes, and then you kind of go home a little bit, and then you'll stay out on the West Coast the whole time, right?
Pretty much. I think there's a break, though. I think I got to come back after Bellevue because there's, I think, 10 days or something, 8 or 10 days. So I'll come back and have to fly back out west, which I was hoping they were going to be a little closer, but we've already got the tickets and everything for that.
Yeah, so sliding into to Edison, you start a day earlier than everybody else because you teach that day-long class before the show starts, and so you did that with Glenda Powell up in Marlborough, but you'll be teaching on Thursday with Gary Borger, right?
Yeah, and we're going to teach there Thursday morning, and Glenda, she sent me a message, actually, since I talked to you this morning, so she's going to come be a part of it, too, and I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a good bunch. And we're going to do that all day. And then Friday morning, you're going to kick us off there at about 8:30, I hear.
Yeah, and you're going to sit in the back room and kind of watch. I'm really excited. This is that course that we've worked on. We've offered it virtually before, folks, where if you've seen my Instagram stories, my Instagram posts, we're really not kidding that, if you take this foundation to heart, you can eliminate 85 to 90% of your casting problems. And what that does is when you have that foundation, just like building a house, like we've talked about before, Mac, then you can go and it's a lot easier to learn new techniques and, add skills to your tool set, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely will. Just from that, we did some distance classes up there in Marlborough, and I do a demo right when you finish your class on a topic for the casting demos, the increased distance. And, everybody thinks usually, Marvin, oh, that means, Marvin, we got to learn the double haul. To be honest, that's way overrated in America because everybody thinks that that's the key to the kingdom, the holy grail they're missing. And the reality is loop control and loop efficiency. I mean, just watching demos, you can sit there and rowcast at a demo and put it out, further than most people that are trying to haul all day long. So what is far? People have to answer that honestly first. Where do we catch most saltwater fish? 55 feet and closer. So I think a big part of all this is first really saying no. The holy grail is learning when to shoot line and form efficient loops. That's really the whole thing of fly cast. Now, double haul, not to say it wouldn't benefit somebody, but I will say it would benefit somebody when those other two things are there first.
Yeah, and I would say, the main takeaway I'm trying to give folks, from the class on Friday morning, and there are a few slots left, by the way, folks, you can go to the website and sign up, but it's really that foundation. But the real takeaways is I want to help people understand that, to have a nice, smooth cast, you don't have to kill yourself, right? You don't have to be strong, let the rod do the work. And so we're going to kind of work through all that sort of stuff and also some tricks. I mean, you and I talk about, power, path, and pause all the time, but there's some things that you can do mechanically that will keep your car on the road, for lack of a better word.
Exactly. Yeah, that's really true. And the efficiency of movement, once people understand what it is they're trying to do from basically just how they move, is a huge part of it. It's like some of the classes over the years on the road, you'll see a lot of different things. And basically all those things come back in. There's only so many ways, like say casting horizontal or casting vertical. There's only so many alternatives on the table. If I guess that's the way I should say it, but you'll see people attempt to cast distance, for instance, just hold their arm still and try to do it 100% wrist. They figured that out in 1854. That wasn't the way to do it. So there's no point of sitting there saying, let's make that guy a little better who's trying to wrist cast. Because that's just going to do what? When he goes out, he's going to be tired. He's going to be fatigued. He'll be like, Mac, I got carpal tunnel syndrome. My wrist hurts. So, I mean, when you see something that has that type of movement, there's ways to make that much more efficient by incorporating the whole arm.
Yeah. And I would say too, I mean, folks that have listened to us over the years know that I'm a big process person. So I'm excited. I think Saturday, I think it's 11:15 in the release room in Edison. I give one of my favorite talks, which is basically about, setting yourself up for success with good process, right?
Oh yeah, that's what it all is. And we did a class Sunday. It was I think in the morning there in Marlborough, and that's what the whole talk was. 2.5 hours. It was a nymphing class, but basically it was about process. There's just so much stuff to get across, and there's only so many hours. It's like so much to do in so little time. So the biggest thing you can talk about in a program like that really is about the processes that people choose to do, about be willing to change something like in the, I don't mean change the fly. I'm not talking about change the fly or change just a leader. I'm not talking about those types of things. Everybody always thinks it's gear-oriented process, but it's actually the process of what you're doing of changing, for the water you're in. And I'm in the release room, I think, too, for all those. That's funny. We got the same room. So you leave some good karma in there for me.
Well, I think you speak before me on that Saturday morning, but I think the thing, folks, about the process thing, and, Mac and I have talked about this in a lot of different ways over the years is, and this isn't just unique to fly fishing, but I think we've done a disservice to the fly fishing community because we don't give people systems. And so people like see a snippet on the internet or they watch a YouTube video or they go to a demo, but they don't have a framework. And so they end up learning a bunch of completely unrelated data points. And then they just have problems. And one of the big examples, like how many times have you heard drag is bad? And it's just not true. I would tell you this, the accurate statement is unintentional drag is bad, right? But there are times when drag is going to help you catch more fish. And so just giving people a framework literally from before you put your boots and waders and rods and reels in the car to putting the fish in the net. So I'm excited about that. And I know you've got you'll be going all day long till the sun goes down between teaching and demos and seminars and stuff, right?
Yeah, it looks pretty busy. I'm actually looking at it while we're talking, and I have it on I always do this on, the little name thing they give you. I always have it on the inside. So I wrote it down in there already. So I learned that from Gary years ago. He goes, look, the way to always have it together. Well, now I do it more on email too, but I still have it on the little name thing. It just says, be here at this time, this time, this time. And at least then it gets you where you're supposed to be. It makes life a little easier.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I would say, folks, is, both of us love catching up with people that listen to the podcast or kind of follow us on social media or whatever. I know, at least for me, the easiest way to do that is probably for you to DM me on Instagram or shoot me an email. I'll be at the show all weekend. I think I leave like middle of the afternoon. I think I've got like a early evening, late afternoon flight back home, but, love to catch up, maybe carrying some Butcher Shop and Articulate Fly stickers. Would love to catch up with you. So if you want to hang out with the Articulate Fly, or Mac Brown, just at least shoot me a DM on Instagram or shoot me an email. Mac, what's the best way if people want to kind of hang out with you at the show?
Probably just like after one of those seminars or demos or whatever, there's usually a like 20, 30-minute window before I have to be at something else. So just come up and introduce himself, I think, probably the best way.
Yeah, you're a fan of Scotch in Copenhagen too, right?
No. We don't do that on the road, Marvin. No, but I think that'd be the best way because I don't look at emails. I don't look at text when I'm like at these events. It's too busy to look at any of that stuff. It's go. By Sunday night, it's you can celebrate because you're tired and it's like, but I don't really look at much of that until it's over.
Fair enough. And so, you'll be, I won't see you again on the show circuit until Lancaster. But I know, one of the things we've been working on, kind of while you're in the show season is, once you're done with shows, you'll slide into schools and guiding and all that stuff. You want to folks know kind of generally what's on the horizon. You've got a new mailing list, people can sign up for and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. We got a subscribe thing that did really well up there in Boston. It has like a newsletter. There's going to be some more regular newsletter correspondence, and there's going to be some prizes and coupons for schools and educational programs. And the best way to get me with all that is going to be, just, on the website, drop an email, but there's a subscribe button and that we'll have on the road, the QR codes, like in the seminar rooms and after the demos. And so all you got to do is just point your phone and boom, it takes you to a thing and asks you a couple of questions and then you're in. So it makes it pretty easy for folks to get in there and do that. And I'm excited. We got some prizes and stuff to give away still from Marlborough too. We'll probably announce that, the next one for Marlborough and Edison.
Yeah, that'll be at the the end of January. And so, folks, I would say, at least on the Eastern Seaboard, it's pretty darn cold. So, if you're not close to Edison this weekend, maybe you should tie some flies. But, if you're close to Edison, come out, meet both of us. It would be great to see you. And if not, maybe sit at home and watch some college basketball, drink your favorite beverage, and tie a few flies. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Mac.
Tight lines, Marvin. Look forward to seeing you.
Absolutely.